Hi guys, and welcome to today's video on how you are being gaslit by the narcissists or the people who have narcissistic tendencies in your life. Um, so I just thought to do this video because it's like more and more now, I think as we're going through this spiritual awakening, we're starting to realize more and more like the manipulation tactics like the true from the false, like that sort of thing. And just seeing how, looking back at the past and seeing how, perhaps we've been very confused. And this is such a tactic of people who want to have power over you or who want you to act in certain ways, is to gaslight you. Like, they want you to be confused. They want to play around with, they want to control your reality, so then that way they can control your behavior and get you to do what they want you to do, sort of thing. So anyway, the question today is, how are you being gaslit? And perhaps we're going to see, like, what the effects of that are, just so that you're aware. It's always important to be aware and to really trust your inner voice and your intuition and how your body's reacting, and what's right for you, because at the end of the day, you have your own path to follow, and no one can tell you what the spirit wants for you to do on your mission, on your life purpose, and walking on your path. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get started with the piles. So we're gonna have, for pile 1, pyrite. For pile 2, black onyx. Pile 3, amethyst. And pile 4, tiger's eye. So go ahead and make your selection, and I'll see you at your reading. Okay, pile 1 with the pyrite. How are you being gaslit? Okay, so the way that you're being gaslit is, okay, so it's like whoever this is trying to instill paranoia and fear around things that bring you into flow. So this is some type of activity or some type of dream or something like that you have, or just, it doesn't have to be a dream. It's just things that you love to do, things that make up who you are. Like with the hermit here, it's really about self-discovery and being yourself and discovering who you are. And then, it reminds me of, I think it was a documentary I watched, but it doesn't matter. It has to do with like being happy. People who are happy are in flow, right? They're doing what they love, and then they're able to make a living out of that. Like, they're happy out of that. It feels like time is just going by. It's just really discovering who they are and then living that to the fullest. And then just at that point, it's like your most abundant self. You're in flow with who you're meant to be, right? And you're just flowing with those changes and evolving like that. So, the way that you're being gaslit is like for you to be paranoid and afraid of kind of being in this flow, and of being who you are, of discovering who you are, because it's almost like, too, like they, with justice in reverse, it's like they want you to feel like what you like, who you are, is somewhat morally wrong of some sort, like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. With the 7 of Swords in reverse, it's about deception, and because it is in reverse, it's like it starts to make you start to question your own self, right? Like, is it true? Like, am I wrong to be doing this? You start to question your own self, like your own mindset, your own beliefs, your own actions, your own desires, things like that, right? And it really makes you feel unhappy and miserable, right? Because it's like the spirit is trying to offer you inspiration on what, and it's an intuition too. It's like, because we all have intuition as to what we need to be doing and what will make us happy and what will allow us to live our very best selves and our very best lives and to fully expand into the person that we're meant to be and to do what we love. Like, we're going to feel in alignment. So it's like, and this person has been gaslighting you since a very young age with the Six of Cups, right? And it's made you very paranoid, like, and very questioning of yourself and doubting yourself, just because this has been going on for such a long time, to a point that now it makes you question yourself all the time. Um, and they don't want, with the hair and the strength, they don't want you to feel strong in making these decisions and doing them clearly, and I keep looking at this evil eye right here. It keeps standing out. I feel like there's a lot of envy with this person. It's like they don't want you to achieve things, to achieve things, with achievement in reverse. They don't want you to achieve things. So they just put doubt in you. They put doubt in you. Nothing will come out of this situation. Void of course moon. They like you to think that whatever intentions that you have, whatever you want to do, it's like they want to put a stop to it. They see your potential with the Two of Wands here. They know that you have all this potential, this big potential, but it's like they don't want you to leave. They want you to stay where you are, for some reason or another, right? Like with the globe here, with this van, it's about, and her looking out the window. It's like they know that you have all this potential, and they want to keep you stuck. They don't want to see you moving forward, moving on. They don't want you to be yourself. They don't want you to live life according to how the spirit intended for you to live. And a big part of that could be because they don't want things to change from how they are. There is probably perhaps some type of benefit that they get from you living life the way that it's like they, for somebody to do this, I'm just getting the sense like they've already decided how you should be living your life and they want you to fulfill it. And it's a very arrogant thing. Honestly, it's a very arrogant thing, because it's like, how can they decide? It's like they've created an identity for you and they want you to step in and fulfill it so that they can benefit in some sort of way, whether it's by look at my my partner, look at, even though this is probably a family member, okay, because this has been going on since childhood. It's probably a parent that's doing this. It's like, oh yeah, well, look at my kid, she's a doctor, or she's this, or she's that. So like they want to have like bragging rights, or like they want to flex on their friends. They want to, and again, this is very narcissistic, right? Because narcissists very much like to, they're just very surface level. They like the image of things. Like they're very shallow people. So it's like they don't care if you're out of flow. They don't care if you're disconnected and unhappy, because for them, they will make you feel like you're doing the wrong thing, like it's an injustice towards them. You're morally wrong, just because you want to live your life according to how spirit has guided you to live, right? So they're going to do anything that they can to weaken you, to prevent you from discovering who you truly are and aligning yourself with the spirit, right? And I think perhaps they even do it even more so to you because they see your potential, right? They really see your potential, and maybe even they don't want you to out-achieve them, because once you start out-achieving them, becoming more independent, because with pyrite is about abundance. So like, I just get, it's just such a rich looking, with the like the crystals and it almost look like diamonds in there and stuff, right? So I'm thinking even just prosperity and things like that. It's like it sort of weakens their their position in their own mind, of course, if you start to, outshine them. If you actually take this Two of Wands, this potential that you have, and really make something out of it, right? And then prove them wrong, right? Or anything, like these people think in a very strange and bizarre way, and a lot of it comes down to um, just an evilness within them. Like I keep seeing, I keep looking at this this eye. It's like it's just evil. It's like the evil eye. Um, yeah, it's almost also too. I just had a thought too that they want other people to envy them. They want other people to look at them like with envy and be like, "Oh, look at her. Like she's so great and da da da." Like um look at her child. Look at her, look at how well they're doing. Look at how this, like on the surface level, like this very shallow, all that glitters is not gold. I just heard all that glitters is not gold, but for them it is. It is. So long as it looks good on the surface, it could be rotten on the inside, but that's all good because that's, how shallow that they are. So this is something that's been going on for a very, very long time for you. Um, and it's made you to a point where you question your own instincts in a way, your own, and try and then make it and have it so you feel like you're wrong, like you're doing something wrong, right? Even though you feel horrible about it. And it's like, I almost feel like spirit is trying to, definitely wants you to be in flow. I mean, there's nothing, it's always going to be like you got to overcome this in some type of way, right? And find your flow, because then that's when you're really going to shine. That's when you're really going to love and enjoy and fully experience life, and be grateful and feel blessed. And that's when you're going to have, that passionate, fulfilling life, emotionally fulfilling, living out your heart's desire. Um, so it's like the big part is this, the Seven of Swords. It's like they really did a number on you. And it's because it's almost like they programmed you in a way to doubt yourself, right? To doubt what comes up for you, what's new for you, your intentions, what you feel pulled to, and they've tried to train you into thinking that that's wrong in some way. Um, so it's pretty intense. That's pretty crazy. So I think here it's just I keep touching this and just feeling like this is the part that really needs to be worked on. Like this is how they really, really gaslit you. This right here, and they've been doing it from childhood. So don't ever question your own morality. Your instincts are correct. The spirit is trying to guide you, but because of this number that they did in your mind, um, it's like really disconnecting you from spirit as well. It's disconnecting you, but you can never fully be disconnected, right? Because your body is always going to tell you. With this Nine of Pentacles in reverse, it's like your body is saying like, no, this is not right. This does not feel right. I feel sick. Having to fit into this identity that someone else created for me, sort of thing, right? So it's like you can never fully be disconnected. I mean, and I'm even thinking about the reasons why people, engage in certain practices, like just numbing practices for themselves. It's because they want to numb, like they get stuck in this, like they want to numb what their body is telling them, but their mind, it's like it's been so warped. It's been so warped by this programming and this fear, of them being wrong, them being bad for these natural instincts. It's like it reminds me of how a lot of people grew up thinking like, or how certain religions will make you feel like, oh, sex is bad, or this is bad, and it's like, no, that's actually normal. You know what I mean? We have it's normal to have sex, but it's like we're taught that like these natural things are bad, or they're wrong, or we were born sinners. I'm sorry if I don't know. It's just I just that's just what I thought. Like if that's your belief, I don't mean to disrespect it in any way, but it's this idea of, where you're made to feel like your feelings are wrong, like we were born sinners, like everything is a sin, or you know uh and so you have to fight against meanwhile your body's just trying to give you indicators to bring you into flow, right? And to bring you closer to the spirit, so you can live that abundant life. So anyway, that is how they're gaslighting you. And it's like perhaps now too, it's to such a point that they don't even necessarily have to be there to gaslight you, because it's so wired into your mindset. So this is something that I feel is built into you at this point. It's like that second voice. It's like there's a committee in your mind now where it's like, oh no, well, maybe I shouldn't do that. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, that sort of thing. So, they may not even have to be present, but I almost feel like they, even if they're not present, you could still be struggling with this because it has happened for such a long time. Anyway, that is your reading, pile one. I hope that it was helpful. And I wish you the best of luck with this, because I know that I certainly struggled with this from my upbringing as well, of just like this very rigid way of thinking, and not being allowed to really be yourself or express yourself, because what you are and who you are is wrong. And perhaps this narcissist is a self-righteous narcissist, because there are those out there too, like they just like to portray that they are so righteous and good, and what you do is morally wrong, and this and that, and like they really don't have an understanding of a lot of things. They're just passing it on, perhaps also from their childhood and their upbringing, and they just haven't taken the time to really evaluate anything. They're just so stuck in their ways at this point. So all the best of luck to you. You can definitely make the changes that you need to bring yourself back into flow, and over time you will get stronger in doing this. So good luck to you, all the best, and take care. Bye bye. Okay, and welcome, pile two, to your reading on how you are being gaslit. So how are you being gaslit, pile two? I feel like, with the Ten of Cups here and the Knight of Cups, it's like, and this Judgment card, it's like, I feel like you're being gaslit by, people questioning your judgment, people questioning your decisions that you've made for your life, particularly around following your own inner wisdom and trying to build the life that you want, like here with building your world. It's like you're trying to build the life that you want, because it's like you've unlocked some information. It's like a lot of hidden information here with Tantric Journey. Helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences. And then you have Emerald Tablet, which is like hidden knowledge. So it's like, it's like you've went on this path to find wholeness within yourself and discovery through maybe your sensuality, something like that. And then, people are here questioning your judgment and your decisions, and they're like, well, what about you having a family? You should be having a family. Like, where's your Knight of Cups? Where's your man or woman? You know what I mean? And it's like you've discovered, like you see kind of past the illusion of this. I don't know, of this whole family life, like that being the thing that is going to make you feel whole and complete. is, a partner or a family, like that's sort of like with this Seven of Cups. This is like letting go of the illusion, right? Because a lot of times, like that's kind of what we're told. Like, this is maybe even society's way of gaslighting, and people in our lives adopting this mentality, and then going through this process of having kids, having this partner, and then still not feeling whole within themselves, still feeling restless within themselves. So it's like with you, I get the sense that like they've really tried to um, gaslight you, but nonetheless, it's like you're on this path and on this journey where it's like now you're finding wholeness within your own self, and 33 is a master number as well. And you still have this sort of, you've had to lose, you feel like with this grief, I feel like you've had to lose out on a lot of people just based off of how they've had to, or how they've followed this path that is sort of written out for us. Oh, you get married, you have kids, you have a partner, da da da, you go about it like that. And so it's like you've had to lose out on people like that. But now it's like you want to build your own world, creation, expansion, networking. You want to have your own business. You want to have your own money. You want to do what you love to do. You want to express yourself maybe sensually, or like this business has something to do with hidden knowledge or sensuality with massage. And it's like you want to share this. It's like you've reached this, waning gibbous moon is after like the full moon. So it's like you've reached this fullness within yourself, and now you want to go on to network, to expand it, and share it with others through business or friendships or things like that. And maybe now you're at that crossroads. Maybe you're at that age, because right now I just saw 33 again, and I'm thinking of it as an age where it's like, well, that's the age now you're supposed to be having kids. Now you're supposed to be quote unquote, right? But maybe you're being also gaslit about, well, now you want to do this business. You want to, it's like, well, you're materialistic now because you'd rather go for a business instead of this fulfillment of this family life. And as a woman, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Or as a man, you have to, or maybe this is for the women perhaps then, or even for men as well. It's like people will gaslight you also, like, or there are perks, like even in businesses or in companies where the higher up you go, you do have to have a family. If you're single, people will look at you strangely, or like, oh, well, why isn't he married? It's sort of like, it comes with the image, right? It comes with the image of being a higher up in an organization, is to also be a family man, to also have this going on, right? It's very rare that you see somebody who's single past a certain age in these higher up positions, especially with men. Anyway, that's a little off topic, but so it's like with this trying to create the world that you want for yourself, that is going to make you feel whole and complete, and it's like you've uncovered this thing that you want to share with the world through business, or through just the new friends or the people that you want to have in your life. It's like now, these doubts are starting to kind of kick in around, well, maybe you're taking it too far with this King of Wands. The King of Wands is an entrepreneur. He's somebody that is very creative and wants to bring new innovative things out into the world, especially with like, now these like these things that are hidden, like when you talk about hidden knowledge and things like that. It's like now it's like seen as sort of this new age way of healing that's sort of starting to come out more and more. So it's like this new innovative entrepreneurial business And now it's like you're questioning, it's causing you to question, like, okay, well, maybe I am taking it a bit far. Maybe I need to be working on a family, looking for a mate, things like that. It's like that's sort of the gaslighting that is being put on you. And I just get the sense too that you still have time. Like, I was having a conversation with someone the other day about like my age, and I'm like, well, I'm running out of time, you know, to have a family. And he was like, no, you're not. Like, I'm like, he's like, how many kids do you want? I'm like, well, maybe 3. He's like, well, you can have twins, and then you can have, like, I don't know. We were just talking about it, but it was just like this urgency around time and family, and then feeling like, oh, I don't have time to build the business that I want, build the connections that I want, do the networking that I want to do, um, and really enjoy it, really enjoy that process. And then also, it's like this feeling that, we're going to have to sacrifice um, a relationship, we're going to have to sacrifice having children and things like that. So it's like, um, so yeah, it's like making you feel like maybe you're taking it too far with this business thing. Maybe you're going to end up losing out, right? It's throwing off how you are manifesting what it is that you want, and it's saying hold your vision, fixed moon. And so this is in reverse, right? And then here we have conscious manifesting. So it's like, it's just putting this sort of, not block, but it's sort of you know making you hesitant, right? Because there's this grief card as well. It's like, and it's right in the middle, and it's like on the one side you have this. It's like, um, this family and this partner, and you know. And I just had this thought with this envy, this eye of envy is like, I think too sometimes people have this idea of like you cannot have it all, right? And they'll kind of impose this way of thinking on others where it's like you can't have a business and a family. You can't have it all. You have to pick. You have to make choices. Like you have to experience grief in some area, right? Um, you can't have money and emotional fulfillment. You know, you you gotta, something's gotta give, sort of thing. And I feel like the people who um, project this idea onto others and try to, like, it's really gaslighting. It's like, in a way, because it's like you can have multiple things, and it's really just about balancing it and timing and having the right partner, having the right situation, right? um so it's like they're so like it's almost like they want, maybe they feel like they couldn't do that, they couldn't have that. um Maybe they feel like they went this route and it didn't work out for them, or whatever the case is. They went a certain route, and it's like, well, I can't do it, so other people can't do it, sort of thing. And it's almost like, I don't know how to put it, but do you guys get what I'm saying? So even with this black onyx, it's like, it's sort of like I'm feeling like a protection that's necessary from, like, people's opinions and people's beliefs that are sort of limiting. Um, yeah, because with the King of Wands, I see him as someone, again, who's very innovative, someone who pushes things forward, someone who takes new ideas that other people um, didn't believe in necessarily, and he keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and he shows that, yes, like, he was able to establish something new, something different. And he builds his own world. Like, he builds the life that he wants, the business that he wants. He pushes the ideas that he wants, even when other people aren't able to see it, like, see how it's going to be achieved. Like, they don't know how it's going to be achieved, but he still holds this sort of vision for it and is able to push it forward, and to really create a business and out of it. So with you guys, I just feel like, people will speak, they'll speak certain things on their beliefs onto you, and there are going to be times where you have your moments of doubt as to, can you have both of these things? Is your judgment sound? Like, when it comes to the decisions that you are making, can you have the best of both worlds? Can you have it all? Um, it's like, especially when it comes to things that are our purpose, it's like we're supposed to fulfill our purpose, you know. If your purpose is something that is calling to you, you should be able to. This is just my opinion here, but it's like I feel like God would not give us a purpose that we cannot fulfill. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can fulfill our purpose, and we can be abundant doing it, and we can still have a family and friends doing it. It's just a matter of the right people and being patient, right? Being patient, believing that it's going to work out, that it's going to happen at the right time with the right person, you know? So this envy thing of it just keeps standing out, because it's like some people, especially when they're not on their purpose, and there's a lot of people that aren't, want to make everything like this zero sum, like, well, you have this, then you miss out on this, and stuff like that. So you can definitely manifest what it is that you desire. Like, that's what it is, and so just don't ever doubt your own judgment or what you're being called, right? So even here with this judgment card, it's like you're being called to do something. It might require some maneuvering. It might require some time to really settle, especially with this um, Four of Swords in reverse. It's like maybe you feel restless about this, but it's like underneath that restlessness will be guidance for you to really manifest what it is, this business, this thing that you desire, and at the same time be emotionally fulfilled, and have that partner or that life that you do want, if that is what you want. Or if you don't want that, then you don't have to have that, because again, this is like an illusion that maybe you're even letting go of, and a lot of people are letting go of this idea of family and a partner is what is going to make you feel whole, and that isn't the case. It's like, following your purpose is really, and you're calling 33. I keep getting this like highly advanced being, right? It's like this highly advanced knowledge, this highly advanced being, and the need to share that wisdom with everybody, that wants to hear it, and creating a business out of it, and then also having a family if that's what you so desire. So I feel like that is how you are being gaslit. It's sort of these societal expectations, this question of being able to have it all, have your own business, this and that. And so yeah, so that is how you are being gaslit, and best of luck to you, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye. And welcome, pile 3, the Amethyst group, to your reading on how you are being gaslit. Okay, so the way you're being gaslit, and I could really relate to this already, is you're being gaslit. Almost, I feel like, by many people, whether it's coworkers, whether it's friends. In turn, it's making you really stressed out, anxious, unhappy, and and it's really affecting your confidence level. And okay, so this is how they're gaslighting you. They're using the element of time to gaslight you, and I'll explain what I mean. It's like, I'm looking here at the moon cycle and the phase, and it's almost like I'm just being reminded of my own situation, and I'll just briefly talk about it. When I left my old job, okay, everyone was surprised. Everyone was like, what? Like, you're going to quit this job? Like, to do what? That's not a good idea. This is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. That is bad timing. You're better off being patient and waiting it out. So, like, even though you're stressed out, you're miserable, it's like they gaslight you not to change. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. It's like, again, they can't see themselves making a change such as that, walking away from something that is not working for them, something that's like leaving you stressed out, feeling defeated, that's emotionally unfulfilling for you with this Eight of Cups. It's like, they're creating a situation in you where, um, it's like you start to doubt. It's like, well, I do have great benefits here. I do have this there. I do have this, and that. But there's like this big gaping hole right here. And that's what you're trying to fulfill. And that's sort of what, like, they're saying. It's almost like they want you to settle, right? They want you to settle. And like, I think this is a very common way of gaslighting. It's like you're unhappy, you're unfulfilled, but you get the advice to stay where you are. You don't want to lose what you currently have in order to go for something that you don't necessarily know if you're even going to get. It's a very, I don't know. It's like, and it doesn't matter. It's like people don't really factor in the fact that you're stressed out. Like with Creative Spark in reverse, right? It's like, to me, this reminds me of, it's like something, it's just so, it's just so pretty. It reminds me of like a child, right? And just like that joy of, and that lightness of childhood, being in the earth. Like, it's like this very magical thing. And it's like, wherever you're at, it's almost like your creativity, that spark isn't there anymore. Whether it was there or whether it was there before, or maybe it was never even there to begin with, and it was just something that you were going with, right? Because with bring love into the situation in reverse, it's like you don't get to really be your true self. Like, here she's standing naked and she's pouring out what's in her cup, right? Because it's so full. It reminds me of the star card in the tarot, where it's like she's just pouring out of it and pouring out. It's like you don't have anything to pour out, because it's like the situation that you're in has like sucked your well dry, so to speak. You're not even able to really be the full expression of who you are. And with this bat here, listen up. You are working through deep soul patterns. Release any outdated beliefs that surface. So it's like there's definitely some type of calling from your soul, to get you to want to leave this situation, to bring an ending with this death, like an ending, not just of this outward situation, but within yourself. It's like there's some old beliefs that you're holding on to. And I feel like the people around you are about those same beliefs, right? Like and it's like you're accepting, not accepting, that's not the right word. It's like, I almost feel like this is a very deeply spiritual sort of thing too, right? With the Eight of Cups, it's a spiritual card. It's like something's missing, right? You can have everything in the world, right? You can have a situation that people would envy, people would love to have, but if there's something gaping missing from it, you're not going to feel happy. Even here with solar, I'm focused on the word solar, is like the light, illumination, being in the sunlight, happiness, positivity. You're not going to be able to experience that if there is something missing. Because again, here's a cup, there's a cup, and it's like these cups could be full, but when it comes to this whole, you're going to be experiencing this really heaviness, like maybe even just bad dreams, because even with the amethyst, it's like just a lot of stress, right? The frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and birth of the new. So it's like your soul is calling you to let go of something, some deep-seated belief or something that you are holding on to. And maybe you're a creative person. You know what? I'm thinking that this is what this reminds me of my own self. Like not long ago, it's like maybe you're a creative. Like I used to work in accounting. Okay, it was something that I never really was into, but I just did it because, right? Like that was supposed to be what I was supposed to do, oddly, like, or something that was sort of directed by someone else. And I'm like, okay, this is how it's supposed to go. And I didn't realize how much of a creative person I actually am, to a point when I started to, I kept getting these messages like about how creative I am. And I'm like, me, creative? And it's like now that I've sort of went down this path, it's like our soul knows like who we are and on the inside, and sort of what we're meant to do, right? But it's hard to walk away from something when you don't know what you're being led to embarking on, and there's never going to be a right time. There's never going to be a time that the people around you are going to say, especially when it has to do with something that's inward, right? Because here, wait, I don't know where I saw inward. Oh yeah, inward and outward. Okay. It's like, especially when it's something inward, people are never going to get it. Some people will get it if they are spiritual, they're going to get it, right? But a lot of times, like when we're dealing with, I don't want to say other people that aren't spiritual, maybe they're in survival, maybe they're just different. They haven't hit this sort of experience yet. But I just feel like you're being called to be more confident in your creativity, and that inner child and the dreams that you had from back then. Or maybe they're different dreams now. Maybe you don't even know what it is. Maybe it's just waiting for you to step into it, like her, like take what you can and then leave, because this situation that you're leaving behind, it wasn't for you anyway. It's like, and maybe you walking away is going to make you feel like, oh, you've been defeated in some sort of way. You've lost, you've lost, right? And, from the outward appearance, it can look that way. But from the inward appearance, it is like merely just a beginning, right? For you to, like, first you're gonna probably have to settle some of this stress that you have before you're able to really uncover what's meant for you. Because right now with the Magician in reverse, it's like, by having these beliefs and not willing to make these changes, it's like you're just manifesting more of this stress and going against what your soul is sort of calling you to do. You are working through deep soul patterns. Release any outdated beliefs that surface. And I'm getting the sense that it's like these belief patterns that you have, or these beliefs that you have that are keeping you where you're at. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, like this is a type of gaslighting. Is like, this is heavy duty, right? Because it's almost like of a spiritual nature, where it's like the world's not going to get it. Maybe they'll get it in like time from now. Maybe you'll get it certain time from now. So I see this as, being like friends, co-workers, your own self, right? Because when we're talking about your soul patterns, is like, that's kind of confusing your reality like this, or it's like questioning your reality, right? When you realize something's missing, it's like you start to question your own reality, right? It's like, it's almost like you start to gaslight yourself. You start to think, especially when you're unwilling to walk away from something, unwilling to give up what you don't want to be at a full loss, right? So it's like you're like, but you can never gaslight your soul. Like, your soul's always gonna know, right? Your soul will always know. So And also too, I will say this, with spending time with friends, like I just I just think that like certain decisions, when we do decide to make them, these big decisions, like I mean, we can always consult with other people and see what they think, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's like your decision and it's your life to make these big changes. And a lot of times people don't feel what you feel, people don't know what you know, people don't experience what you experience, people don't have their certain, their soul speaking out to them and guiding them, and they can't hear that voice. So um not everyone's going to be able to support you in that way, and some people are just going to add more doubt to you. And I think that's where it's really important to be very mindful when you're making these big changes, to have the right people around you. And maybe you're going to end up losing some friends along the way. But I guess that comes with the territory. It's like it's an ending, but it's just a beginning as well. So yeah, so that is your reading, pile three. I wish you the best of luck, and I know it's not easy, but it gets better. Nobody really likes change, but sometimes we're forced into it, right? Just by, having all this, and eventually this is like, I'm getting like stress related illness as well, with the amethyst in this. Um, yeah, so good luck to you. I wish you the very best, and things do get better when we do finally make those changes and time goes on. I know for me, it was like, oh, thank God I made this change. I feel so much better. I didn't realize how much that was killing me. So, so yeah. Anyways, take care, good luck, and all the best to you. Hi, Pile 4, and welcome to your reading with the Tiger's Eye. So, how are you being gaslit? Okay, so I feel like the person that is gaslighting you is like take gathering of blessings, harvest. I feel like, I don't want to say they're using you, but they're getting some type of benefit from this gaslighting of you, and it has to do with reaping some of your blessings. And I think, okay, so they do this by, it's funny because on both sides of the reading we have the Five of Wands and then we have the Five of Cups, which is like conflict in this, like, so it's like you see here with these people back to back. So it's like they have conflict with you. Oh, what's that saying? Like, oh my God, I don't even remember what it is. It's like something like, I just had it for a second and it went away, so maybe it wasn't but it has to do with like when you're in a state of conflict. It has to do with empires falling. Like that's what it has to do with, like, empires fall from within, not from without, or something like that. So anyways, I guess the point of that is to say that they gaslight you to create conflict so that they can reap some of your stuff without you noticing it. See here how with the Two of Swords, you're blindfolded. You're blindfolded. They don't want you to see what they're taking from you. So then that way they don't have to talk about it. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. This is in reverse, right? So they don't want to talk about it. They just want to be able to steal it, type thing, or take it from you without you being aware of it. With revelation in reverse, they don't want you to see all the good that you have in your life, right? It's like they want to bring up the past, right? They want to always have this conflict where they're always bringing up the past, their grievances that they have with you, the spilled milk, the things that didn't work out, the things that maybe you did wrong. They always want to keep you in this type of place, right? It's like they purposely don't want to build a bridge with you in order to move on to fix this conflict that you guys have. Maybe they're even secretly in competition with you because of your blessings, because here you have some really, really positive cards with the Sun and Leo. It's like they see a lot of like positive qualities about you. Maybe it's your like, how, the heart that you have, the courage, like the drive, the determination, the creativity that you possess. Even here, maybe you have like some spiritual gifts as well. Like here with her hand, like you have some healing or some spiritual gifts. Especially here with the Four of Swords, like they know how well you do when you're in a state of serenity, of peace, in this sort of, you know what I mean? And just this calm state, right? And it's like they want to take that away from you, because then they can continue to reap the benefits of you staying put where you are, right? Because here we have Panther protection. Consider who you allow to take your energy and who you give it away too freely. It's in reverse, right? So it's like, and then here we have resplendent with grace. Okay, so you have a lot of grace, you have a lot of blessings, you have a lot of positive attributes and good qualities, and they want you to be so consumed in this conflict, in looking at the past, in being stuck, in not seeing what's going on. Because with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's like they don't want you, because they know it's a matter of time. Ooh, there we go. It's a matter of time before you're going to realize it. So like they want to milk what they can out of you. And it could be your blessings. And your blessings come in many different forms, right? It doesn't have to be financial. It doesn't have to be material. It could be, energetic, right? Maybe the attention that it's like having, I don't know, I'm associating this with a relationship with a partner who is maybe codependent. This doesn't have to be the case, but it's like they need you for certain things. So the only way that they can keep you is to drain your strength, make you blind to the goodness around you. So then that way you can be dependent on them, or you feel like you need them when really they're the ones draining you, right? So this is very like, so consider who you allow to take your energy and who you give it away too freely, right? Because they know, like, look at this right here. They know that once you get into this peaceful meditative state, you are going to be out the door. It's going to be done for them. And they're going to miss out a lot more than you. And they know that. They know that. So they want to, like, pump this toxicity into this situation and into you. So then that way they can keep getting what it is that they want to get from you. So that is what I'm getting from your reading. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's funny because it's like, while you're, for them, this is what I'm getting. The Wheel of Fortune is upright for them when you're in this state of doubt, of confusion, of conflict, of restlessness, because things are going to work out for them when you're in that state. But the moment you are able to get some serenity and peace and start to protect yourself, that's when the Wheel of Fortune will be in your favor. So it's like you guys have not two conflicting situations. You get what I'm saying though, right? Where you guys don't have a common interest, right? You guys have conflicting interests right now. And it's very sad because I get that this person is really envious of you and they feel like entitled to your blessings, to what you have. And some people are just very much like this. Like I've been noticing more and more is like this, some people just have this like really lack mindset. It's a very lack mindset where it's like, well, I don't have enough of this, so I'm going to get it from them. And it's like, well, it's this is very like, it's like devil energy, right? Where it's like, when we're talking about God energy, it's like you can go to God and get more energy if you need it. But it's like they're unable to see it, they're unwilling to look, they're unwilling to do the work in order to get that. So instead, they want to take it from others, and and that only makes them feel, I don't know, it just compounds their problem even more and more and more and more. But so yeah, so that's definitely what I yeah, they don't want you to see that, it doesn't they don't want it to be revealed, like, to you, how um manifest success. It's like the sacral chakra is about creativity, um, abundance. You have the sun, you have Leo, you have gathering of blessings, grace, all of these different things. So, yeah, and then they just want to alternate it like that. So, like, that's how you're being gaslit. That's how they're really manipulating your reality, right? To have you focus on just like all this conflict and sadness and grief, and it's almost like they want to keep you in this cycle. It reminds me of a toxic relationship I was in. Actually, it was very, 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 very toxic. And it's funny because it's like, now that I'm out of that situation, I see how he benefited from me being like that. And eventually it's like you start to become kind of crazy too, right? Like, that's how it was for me. And now that I'm out of it, and like they want you to feel like you need them, right? And especially if you've grown up with a lack of, maybe not having one parent and the other parent is a certain way. It's like you become accustomed to this sort of toxic type of behavior. So when you get into a relationship when you're older, it's like the same type of behavior, and then it's like they thrive off of this type of stuff because that's how they get what they want, right? Whereas once you find your peace, once you find your serenity, you're going to cut all this shit out, and then the harvest will be for you. And then your harvest will increase too, because it's like, I feel like the spirit is trying to protect you also, and he won't increase your harvest when there's people trying to, he knows people trying to like suck the life and the energy and the harvest out of you, and they're somewhat undeserving of it because of what they are doing, right? It's very uncalled for. So, and it's preventing them from their spiritual development as well, right? Because if they can suck it out of you, they're not going to do things that are more alignment with the spirit, right? So this, anyways, that's a little bit off topic, but it does relate, because you know it's just a matter of you being able to see this and you making this decision for yourself, that you probably are going to be perhaps better without this person. um, but again, it's like sometimes you just need a little break, and you need to take this time to recover from this stuff, and then start to see how it feels, and the type of stuff that you can manifest for yourself without this type of conflict around you all the time, because this stuff is like, it's almost like a curse. So there's people who are like high vibrational. It's like a curse to be around this type of stuff. It really sucks the life out of you, and it's a good sign, because you don't want to be a person who thrives in this type of environment. Like, that says more about you and your soul and your spirit, in my opinion. I don't even think it's my opinion. I think this is facts. It says something about where you're at on your spiritual journey. So good luck to you. I hope you definitely take the time and the rest that you need to be able to see things for what they are. And I'm sure you already know it on some level. It's just, maybe you feel like, oh, well, now's not the time, or whatever the case is. But all the best to you. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye.